to prepare for a session. So this might give you, especially you students, might give you some insights into like, oh, I didn't know that much went into it. The choir was 8 vocalists. I needed really specific voice requirements. Basically what you do in this situation is you have a choir leader who then assembles your choir for you. Now, back before COVID, I had my own choir in New York City. I had the Blessed Choir. I could call up my boy Alvin Fields, and I could just tell Alvin, call Carmen, call Irene, put us 25 people in a room at Jungle City on this date at this time. It's going to be this many songs. And then Alvin would assemble the choir. And my main communication is with the choir director. I'm not reaching out to every single choir person. That's not my job. Alvin gets paid more money for that. Paid as a vocalist and as a leader. Same thing with strings. Strings work the same way. You really hire a string contractor, and the string contractor hires the string section that will play on your record, and they better hire a good one. So long before I even booked a studio, I made sure that I could get the choir that I needed to tap in with. So I got 8 killers. Then I needed to find a studio that had headphone boxes for at least 9 people, because I go out in the live room and sing with the choir as well. I have a crazy vocal range. You have no idea. So we needed like at least 9 headphone boxes. We needed a really good mic locker. And we needed a good live space so that the vocalist didn't feel cramped and that they could project out into the room and that we could capture a little bit of ambience. So there aren't many rooms left in New York City that fit all of those bills, especially on last minute. Flux has a bunch of really great rooms in New York City. Fantastic. I had a staff engineer for me, Daniel. He did a fantastic job. Bailey was my assistant. First class operation over there. I sent Daniel my layout for where I wanted the microphones to be positioned in the room. It's just, I took a piece of white paper like this and I just drew out the room. I went onto their website and I found the dimensions of the room and their gear list on their website and their microphone list. Sat down and thought about it, and I was like, okay, I'm going to put the choir here and I'm going to put the microphones here and here, and I'm trying to capture layers of sound. So I want to capture the immediate choir, and then I want to capture kind of a blend of the choir and the room, and then I want to capture the back of the room as well. So, as I'm thinking about what I want to set up, I know those are the things that I want to accomplish, and I'm going to pick the microphones and the mic positionings that give me the best chance to accomplish that. Then I'm going to sketch that out, send it to Flux. Flux is going to have that shit set up and checked before I even get there. They're going to have all of the headphones checked and at a good listening volume, so if I put on Pro Tools, I'm not blowing anybody's ears out, or they're not hearing anything and they don't know why everybody else is singing and they aren't. Flux is going to check all of those microphones and make sure that the lines are clean without distortion or hum. And in this case, they have a vintage Neve console in that studio. So for me, I just told them I was like, go into all of the Neve console channels. And that's what I did. I didn't add any outboard compression or EQ while I was tracking, but I did add some EQ on the Neves. I showed up probably 3 hours before the session, at least 2. And for a choir session, I get these big poster board things. They're like 24 by 28 pieces of white poster board and big, thick Sharpies. And I write the lyrics that the choir has to sing on the poster boards, and I put them in the middle of the room between the microphones so that the choir, it's one less thing to think about. The thing as a producer you always want to try and do is take as much thought away from the performer as you possibly can. Make it as easy as possible for them to connect as strongly with the music as they possibly can. So lyrics in front of them, everybody else is singing along, easy peasy. I get there hours before, I write out all of the lyrics, I post them on all the boards, I listen to how the mics sound in the room, and then I'm ready to go. The choir comes in, I hand them lyric sheets. I've already got lyric sheets printed for every song beforehand. I've got 8 of them printed out so that I can hand them out to every choir member. So we did 5 songs in 2 days. And, as soon as one song is done, you take a 5-minute break and you hand out lyric sheets and you're right into the next thing. It's a nonstop thing. You just don't have time to rest. But man, the end result was absolutely phenomenal. These people are just killers.